Hi, this is Heather McAbee. I'm with Shifting Sands Holistic Healing, and I'm excited to talk to the group today about my new wellness kit. I need to get some ideas on, well, one, on how to mail it cost effectively, but also on some what I need to include in it. And I'm just excited to be here today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that was wonderful. Heather McAbee, Shifting Sands is my business. I have been a wife for over 20 years. My kids are 18 and 15. My son's leaving for MSU in a couple of months. Don't ask me how I'm doing. Things that I love. The ocean is my favorite place. And if I could be there in my bathrobe, I think I'd be super happy. I own 9 bathrobes. I love playing cards. I love board games, things that I can do with my family. I began studying this work in 2014, and I operated under a different name for a little bit. But then in 2018, I became Shifting Sands. What I do is I help people clear their blocks, mental and emotional blocks, holistically and at a root level. What does holistically mean? Well, it really means that I'm looking at all the different systems in their body. I'm looking at their chakra systems, their meridian systems, their family systems, their thought patterns, their belief patterns, a lot of things. So I'm really looking holistically. And I help them identify and break what those patterns are so that they can live their life in the direction that they actually want to live it. I've created 3 signature programs. One is Meeting Yourself Again, and then one is Healing Your Relationship with Money, and then I also work with athletes in their sport services. Ways that you can work with me: I do one-on-one sessions. I currently have just a virtual office, and I do monthly group sessions. I host many workshops around town, and I've hosted 5 retreats in Mexico. I also facilitate at other people's retreats. And I have online programs. I have several online programs. I have programs for weight loss, programs for money, programs for healing fibromyalgia, gaining more love for yourself, things like that. So I have this new business idea. Whoa, where'd I go? I'm calling it a wellness kit, and this is kind of a prototype. I'll pass it around in a little bit. It's basically a hybrid program. And so there are some components that you'll log into on the website with some videos and that are recorded by me and some ways to heal in that way. And then this box has a few things in it as well. What I need is some ideas of things to put into the kit. And I'll give you some more information on that. Also, is there something else that you would really love to see if you were to purchase this kit? What would you like? And I get eaten alive on mailing for things that I mail out for my retreat. So I'm wondering, is there a way that I can cost effectively do this? And what would be a good price point? What would someone pay for a kit like this? This is a brand new idea. You guys are new to it. So I don't know. I haven't done anything so far. Ways that I have marketed in the past is I do have social media accounts. I create Facebook events. I do in-person speaking events, and I meet with people like for coffee dates and things like that. And I have an email list. What I like the most are in-person connections. That's where I feel more natural. And I feel like when I have coffee with people, the conversations flow naturally. I can get to know them, what their needs are, and then the sale naturally flows. This kit itself, it feels like it's an online sale, or it is maybe like the Junior League conference or something where I would have a booth. Or one thing that I was thinking of too is, would it be like a monthly subscription where someone buys it for the year or something and I send them a new topic every month just on a subscription? So my ask from you guys today, when I created the Meeting Yourself Again program, I really noticed that there's 5 pillars where people want and need change in their life. And so it's called CLEAR. Create, love, empower, awaken, and relate. So according to those topics of interest, what is a specific belief or emotion that you would like to change? This QR code will take you to a survey on my website. Philip likes surveys, so this is for him. And you can fill out what you want in there and tell me specifically. This kit that I created here is for someone who has the belief of I'm not enough. And this is a huge thing that I've had to overcome, especially as an entrepreneur. We're always, what do I need to do that's more? And so this kit is called I Am Enough. And then if you do complete the survey, I'll give you a free copy of my new ebook that I just launched like a week ago called The Patterns We Live From. I think that's it. Oh, here's how you can contact me. I'm on social media. I also have a website and WhatsApp and all of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Okay, so now I'll come around with the microphone if you have a question. So just raise your hand.
All right. So I wrote it down already for you anyway, but as far as the shipping goes and your concerns about that, is the shipping calculated into your price when you're working on things? Does the customer pay that separate?
No, they wouldn't pay it separate. I would be including it.
Okay. So there is a website called Pirate Ship,
Okay.
and you prepay, so you preload your account with X number of dollars, and then you get discounted rates on shipping via USPS. So that might be an option. It also allows for tracking, and you can send tracking information to your customers as well through Pirate Ship. So it's a nice little help.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. What is your training, I guess, and your background, and what prepared you to be able to offer these services? Because that would be an awesome thing to also think about. Because like when you said about the realizing you're worth it, how you created that program, I saw your personal connection when you were saying that, and there was a spark to you more so when you said that than a lot of the other things that you said. And so,
Which program?
the one at the end with the box that you just created, you had a smile.
Oh, the I Am Enough. Yeah.
I am enough, and you had a twinkle in your eye. And so I'm wondering about how you can apply that to everything else that you're talking about too with your training.
My first training was in what's called resonance repatterning. So what do I resonate with? What are the patterns that I've lived throughout my life? And we start to unblock those and create new patterns of resonance. I have since received trainings in EFT tapping, TFT tapping, solution-based hypnotherapy, family constellations, internal family systems. I'm trauma-informed. I have a lot of things underneath my belt. The I Am Enough, I think that's really about self-love. And that's the category I would put it under. There's also empowerment that it could go under. A lot of things kind of blend, but definitely throughout my life, I have struggled with that statement. And it's been something that even just recently, I really come into my power about. Yeah. I'm also really excited about the online portion that I built for the I Am Enough, because I think it's going to be super, super good.
Good morning, Heather.
Hi.
So I have so many questions.
Okay, we'll go for coffee.
And the first one around the new wellness package. I'm wondering what your hope or goal is for it. Like, where did it come from? Because what I heard you asking also is what could go in it. And so, of course, the questions, I need that first question answered. Like, what are you hoping for with this? Like, what's the purpose of it in your business model?
For another avenue stream for people to be able to work with me, right? I also liked the idea of something tangible that could be at a wellness booth or something. The idea actually came from MSUB. I think you know the guys over there, right? They analyzed my website and my business, and they were like, they thought that this could be a good idea, and I loved it when they told me. When I was asking for things to put in it, I have a lot of ideas, but some of them are not cost effective for actually mailing. Like if I did an Epsom salt thing or something like that, because it's heavy and I don't know what this pirate ship has, but that could be a good idea. What was your other question?
So many different thoughts, and maybe we can meet one-on-one. That is very helpful. So it's an entry point to you. It's another way of reaching people. It's kind of an
entry point, yeah.
Okay.
They're one-on-one sessions with me. A lot of people can't afford, and this would be an entry point, yeah. And it's not going to be an entry point as far as transformation. What I've created is huge.
Right, and it is huge, and so I love the idea of blending what is in it with small tangibles and the online presence. Now the questions have eluded me, so I'll hand off.
So Abby actually kind of asked it. Sorry. But I'm curious about what comes to in the little boxes, partly because I haven't seen it yet. But I'm just like, can you tell us a little more about like a monthly subscription, what you would get in your little box?
Yeah, so what I have currently outlined in the little box is an essential oil. And it's a blend that I created for that statement. And the reason why is because essential oils are very grounding into bringing you back to that moment. So after you do the online portions, which initially I have journaling prompts, then I have an EFT tapping script video, and then I have a hypnosis meditation with EMDR in it and breath work. And then you smell the oil after to really ground all of it in. So that's why we have that tangible piece. The other part in the kit that isn't included today, but I have a pocket affirmation card, so something that someone can just be like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling that thing, and just pull it out.
I have a question for you. I know some of the people in here are not too familiar with your work, but you mentioned getting at the root level. Do you want to explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, we can have a lot of different roots to a problem that we have. I can give you an example. So I had a client who came to me with panic attacks. And he had been, for 18 years, he'd been to every doctor, every ER, cannot find a solution. And in 3 sessions, I had identified where it came from. He was 3 years old. He had an accident, and the feeling was panic. There was energy blocked in his feet. He had no idea. There was nothing conscious that he could remember. And 2 days later, I think, he had a panic attack, and every memory came back. And it's been gone since. So they can be a pattern, a root that I developed in this lifetime because of something that happened in my childhood, or they can be a pattern that got passed down through the DNA. Science has proved through epigenetics that we do pass our traumas down through our DNA. I can identify that and I can rewire it. Obviously, it's a co-creation if the client's willing.
That matters.
Yes, that matters a lot.
Is that the box you're going to be using to send it in? It's just okay, because...
But I'm thinking that size.
Okay,
and something
yeah.
that...
The USPS has boxes that are roughly that size that you can get from them for free to mail from. You just got to go and pick them up at a location, and then you fold them and put your stuff in there. I thought maybe that'd help with your cost efficiency, because then you're not purchasing boxes specifically, and you'd only have to get them when you need them.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So with me, you just made mention, I love surveys, right? And I missed scanning your survey when you were doing the presentation. And I went to your website to go see if there's a link to it, and it's not there.
Correct. Would you like me to go back?
I would probably recommend maybe having it on the website on a public level, unless you don't want it to be public. That way you can just tell people to go to the website. It makes it easy. And then my second question is, it looks like what you do is really, it's sort of a high level, deep level of helping people with the kind of issues you resolve. Having a little bit of videos kind of explaining the process on the site would be really helpful for people who don't know you.
Okay.
So those are my 2 points.
Okay.
Alrighty. Who else has a question?
You had asked for suggestions for things in the box. I think would you consider putting something in there to help people regulate vagus nerve? There's a lot of nervous system dysregulation that people have. We can't calm down easily. We have too much going on in life. And so just even helping them to maybe have techniques, a video on like little simple things that they can do. There's stuff with ear stimulation or breathing or whatever, neck stuff that you can do to stimulate that vagus nerve and help put people into a more relaxed state. That could be something you could consider putting in.
Okay.
Or there's small devices, but I don't know for cost effectiveness.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I have another question. You mentioned whether to do it as a like one-off kit that would get to people or whether it should be a subscription-based thing. If you were going to do a subscription, are you thinking they would just get one kit like at the beginning and then they would get the videos and all of the online portion each month, or would they get a new kit each time?
A new kit each time, because the oil and the pocket affirmation cards would be specific to that statement, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Now I know how important statements are for the work that you do, but will you tell everybody a little bit more about why I am enough and those types of statements are central to what you do?
Okay, so I'll give you an example of myself. My first session in resonance repatterning, I had an issue in my marriage. This was, 14 years ago or something. Not that I haven't had issues for 14 years. But this was a very specific issue. I was traumatized as a child. I'd been through counseling for 14 years, traditional therapy, and I was not getting better. I was coping. I wasn't getting better. And so I had an opportunity to go to a resonance repatterning session, and she identified that my issue started at 6 years old. And she said, what happened? I gave her the experience of the abuse, and she identified the belief that I instilled. When we have things that happen, we create loops in our mind. We create belief systems in our mind and in our nervous system. And my belief was I'm not worthy. And when she said that, I burst into tears, and I was someone who never cried. I stuffed everything. When I left that session, I recognized I'm not worthy affected my physical health, my relationships with friends, my marriage, my parenting, my finances. It affected every single area of my life. So it's so critical to really say out loud and identify what those statements or beliefs are so that we can move past them.
Okay, I think we have time for maybe one or two more questions. So anybody didn't get their question asked?
So you explained in the beginning that this is sort of the phase where you're collecting feedback, and so is this you're in the exploratory phase to figure out what goes into the box and all that, and then you might plan in terms of how to launch this program, or do you have a timeline in your mind already in which you're planning to launch this, and this is just to help massage the program?
Yeah, I don't have a timeline. My timeline was the Junior League conference, but I'm unable to attend it now. So my next timeline could potentially be the end of August, where the wellness fair that Lori Cameron does. Mm-hmm.
I love this idea, and I just love everything that you shared today. One of the things that I was wondering is, as a way to both test the concept and sort of, the experience that people have and the results is, could you get 5 people or whatever the number is that don't know you very well, that have maybe as a, know someone who knows someone who knows you, kind of like very distant, and then have them go through it, at a discounted rate or as a way of them experiencing it without having any, kind of,
Sure.
Knowledge of you and your work, just so that they kind of have an idea, or you have an idea of what happens when somebody brand new that doesn't have any, kind of background. And then on the other flip side, is, maybe pick 2 or 3 of the people that you have worked with at a very deep level, have them walk through it, and then get there. So you kind of have both ends
Right.
of the spectrum in terms of an experiential, learning of the product and or what their results are, and then maybe they'll give you testimonials, or maybe you learn how to iterate the product, or like, yes, this is a go, green light on, X, Y, and Z. So I was just thinking about, how you could use the different levels of people that have experience with you as a way to sort of test some of this before you, go at a larger, sending it out, that kind of thing. So
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So, Heather, you kind of answered what the 1 Million Cups community can do for you, but for those of you who didn't get to scan it, do you want to walk them through one more time what you'd like?
Yep. That would be amazing. There's 2 different forms to fill out the survey. One, you can do it like with a chat bot, or you can just scroll over and just do a standard form. But I have the 5 areas of interest, and then I have what is your specific thing. It's so great if it's super specific, because then I can really hone in on what I build for it. Yeah, and then you'll get an email with my ebook.
Okay. Thank you, Heather.
Okay, thank you.